Okay, so let's see what I can demo here. So I have this tutorial set up. This shows you how to use the gesture to summon the interface like this. Touch the two tips of your fingers together. Okay, this shows you how to rotate your hand. And if you look back at the interfaces, when you rotate your hand, it changes to these different layouts based on the angles here. Okay. The other hand does the other one. This is step 3, tells you to begin a grip, and you'll see here when we're holding a grip, it changes the material of our hand mesh here. And if I grip with both hands, I'll get green. Okay. This is important to know because whenever you release both grips, it submits whatever word you are currently typing. So that tells you that here. So you can use the cursor to select letters, and you can see it start typing there. And whenever I release my grip, it's going to submit this word, that RJT over there. So that does not match our target string up there, LEIS, from the curriculum. So when I release, it's going to submit this word, and it's going to immediately just clear that. And it's going to give us a audio cue that it did that. So I have a data table hooked up to this, and one of the interesting things about this is that none of these keys will hit unless you have an active grip. So you have to have an active grip going to hit these letters, okay? And then when you release, it submits that string over there. So if you want to hit these special keys in the middle, which changes to the numbered layouts here, or the special characters, you have to either start a grip on them, or you can do what's called an easy click on the center here. So as you can see, while I'm holding a grip, whenever that cursor enters one of these keys, it submits that letter. However, you can hear now, you see it's not submitting anymore. You have to always go back to the center key. You have to return to the home row or it won't let you submit another letter. You have to return to the home row. So the question is, how do I actually click the keys on the home row if whenever I let go of my hand and start a new grip, it submits the string? So the center keys have a special functionality where if you overlap the center key and then you do it again, it clicks that center key for you. So I can do a quick and easy backspace here. So if I type some letters real quick and I realize, oh shoot, that's not at all what I wanted to type. This arrow here is my backspace key. So if I overlap that and then do it again, I can just quickly click back through those. Same for shift, which is this up arrow here. I can tab to click that, but I think we're on caps lock right now. So if we go turn off caps lock, there, I can easily click to toggle caps lock. So let's turn it off. Let's go back to numbers and original letters. So I can press shift and I can quickly and easily toggle that shift. And then if I release on submit, it'll also submit. So this is a free key right now that I need something else to do with. So spaces are also supported. So if I go in the yellow layout, I can actually submit spaces in my submitted word. And you can see it's wrong. So this is, you can see here, the center key is a little bigger. These keys are fairly tightly packed together. And these listen for the cursors here that are extending out in front of my hands, okay? And they're roughly lined up with where you would be grabbing with just a little bit of extra out in front of you. So I have another way you can use the same interface. So you can type with one hand on these, or you can type with both. You can actually submit letters with both hands, and then when you release both, it'll submit that string. So you can type fairly quickly once you learn the layout for these, and they're identical with just the hands rotation mirrored. But the letters are in the same position. So Y is always on the red layout, which is always palm up, and is always in the top left. Okay? So once you learn one, you can learn the other. You can pick up the other fairly quickly. But the neat thing about this is because you can type with one hand, you don't have to have your other hand. For accessibility reasons, you can only have one hand, or you can be doing something else. You can be gripping an object in VR, you can be pointing, you can be doing whatever else with this hand gameplay-wise, or physiologically if you just don't have an extra hand that can be tracked. You can still type all your letters and numbers with one hand. Now, some people are not going to like this cursor. They're not going to be used to like using this cursor as an extension of their hand. So if I dismiss this interface real quick, and you see when I summon the interface with my fingers pointed at each other like this, I get my cursors and I get these small layouts, and they spawn roughly wherever I put my hands. So if I put my hands lower, it spawns them lower. Okay. Now, if I summon the interface with my fingers crossed perpendicular like this, you'll notice the interface is a little bigger. I don't have those cursors anymore. So what I can do now, there's actually an invisible overlap sphere right in the center of my palm. Okay. And you can use that to click your keys. So I'm going to send this back to... This one's a little wonky just because of the hand tracking, and there's really not a whole lot I can do about that. That's one of the reasons I've implemented the cursor. I can show you now. So if I get off of shift, I'm on caps lock again, aren't I? Yep. Let me turn caps lock off, go back to letters, go to blue, go to L, E, I, S. And when I let go, you see it submitted that string and it was correct, so it checked those two things, and then it said this was good, and it went ahead and progressed me to the next word in the curriculum data set. So I've actually moved through a few of these by now, but you can see the letters in the target string up there for right now are all blue. So those letters are all on the blue layout. So while you're learning, it will show you which layout each individual letter is on. And it's hard for me to show you right now because the next part of the curriculum is way forward. But each individual letter will be colored one of these 4 colors based on what layout it's from. So you can look up here while you're typing, and out of your periphery, you can see the color of what layout you're currently on, even if you're not 100% certain that the rotation of your hand is going to have you on the right one. You can see out of your periphery, you can look up here, and you can still see down here that you're on the correct color, and then you know the position. So, I can use my hands, or I can use the cursors. There was one more thing. So, that curriculum will advance. Yes, I have a way to save your progress while you are learning on here. So you can see right now, my target string is LEVO. And again, that's because I'm very early in the curriculum. I'm still strictly on the blue layout, which is these keys. So if I dismiss this interface, you may be able to see this debug message. So it says it has saved. Whenever I open or close the interface with this gesture, it's going to save what target string and what target row I am on in the curriculum. Now, if I exit the application with the interface dismissed, it will reset my progress all the way back to the beginning. However, if I summon the interface first, when the interface is summoned, it saves wherever you're currently at. So let's LEVO. So now if I exit the application, let's see if I can do this while still recording. So if I quit out of here, and then I relaunch this, it should automatically load. Okay, so it loaded that I'm still on this row. You can see the row number is still the same. So my target string didn't save, but my row number has been preserved. So I'm still on this blue one here. So this is one of the ones that wants me to, because I've already progressed through each individual letter one at a time. Okay, B-E-L-S, B-I-L-E. Oh, got a capital in there, didn't mean to. B-I-O-S. don't know how far I was, but I need to make sure that I save the target string. Geez, that was really far apparently. Okay. It's sometimes hard to not start your grip on the center key and have it click. So I might just remove that functionality to start a grip on the center so that you can always grip on the center and not have to worry about easy clicking to reset it back to what it's supposed to be. But you can also start your grip on the actual first key, which is what you're supposed to do. But it could also make sense to grip starting in the center. L-E-V-O, L-E-V-S, L-I-B-S, lies, L-I-P-E, L-I-P-O, L-I-P-S. Now, if I didn't have it automatically scratch the word when you miss it, and you still had it submitted up here on this widget below, and it would show you what you typed versus what you're targeting, if you overlap the two grab spheres together, it will actually just clear that string that the widget is holding. And that used to be the way that I would erase from what I had already submitted versus what I'm actively typing. So I can still do that in the future fairly easily when you're out of the curriculum and just typing. You can clear anything that you've already submitted by just putting those two, doing a clap gesture basically. So I'm currently on Lisp. I'm on 4-letter words that start with L strictly on the blue layout. So I'm going to dismiss this, and you can see that now it's reset my save target. So now if I quit the application, it will reset my progress back to the very beginning. So the very first letter you learn is on the blue layout, and it's E. You learn how to click a single E. Then you have to learn, oh, I can't just click and be done. You have to click the E, go back to the home row, click it again, and submit. You do it 3 times, and you progress through this, and these will build up as you learn more letters. So now that I'm doing O, now I have E and O, so I'm going to do O twice. I'm going to do E and then O, making sure I don't hit the center. I'm going to do O and then E, O and then E again, E and then O again, and now we move on to I. And this continues through that curriculum data set that I made. So you first learn the top letters on the blue layout, then the bottom layers on the blue layout, then the back letters on the blue layout. Then you learn the front and bottom letters on the green layout, then the back letters on the green layout. Then you learn the red layout on the front and on the back. And then finally you'll learn to just add XZ and punctuation. And as the curriculum goes through, you won't just be typing 1 and 2 letters that don't make any sense. You'll be starting to type complete words with the letters that you already know, just like when you're typing on a 2D keyboard. All right, that should be everything. Over and out.